AYLF story or AYLF journey really begins in 2006. Those are the foundational stages really. And really it begins with me getting interested by a friend of mine to get involved in something that was trying to bring student leaders together. And by then, of course, I'd not known of Cornerstone, who would later then become very instrumental in the AYLF conversation. But I'd been connected to the National Prayer Breakfast movement in 2006. But really the turn of events starts when I met a gentleman called Sam Owen, who then would later, towards the end of 2007, send my name to Cornerstone in Uganda. They were looking for a young person from Kenya who would then be recommended to be part of a launch of something they had. They had this idea that had been shared to them by some young guys, and so it was about a National Student Leadership Forum in the US, and so they were trying to format something that could be similar to that, but really custom-made for this part of the world, that would then be able to mentor and train and expose young people into the philosophy and the understanding around the prayer breakfast movement globally. And so this was happening in Entebbe. So someone gave my name and I got this email that invited me to this retreat. And I was to go with someone, so I reached out to my friend Patrick Opati, and we traveled together in October for this retreat in Entebbe. And while we were seated in this retreat, they started talking about this idea of that they were calling Africa Youth Leadership Forum. And the idea would be to mentor young people, student leaders primarily, and expose them into the kind of leadership that really would be about the teachings and the values and the principles of Jesus. And then they would then translate those into building even intentional friendship and walking a journey together. And it was not an event, it was not an activity that we just do and then move on, but it was more of a commitment for walking a journey together, walking a journey with young people. And of course, after the post-election violence, came back to the university, and there was a lot of division. There was a lot of all these silent conversations that were ongoing, and we were bothered because of that. I was personally really bothered, so I reached out to someone, and it was like, okay, what do you want to do? I didn't know what to do with it. And then I reached out to a party, and asked a party, can we do something about this? Because we'd been wondering what we could do. And so we said, okay, let's get 8 friends of ours. Let's put them together in a room and let's see if everybody else hears. And of course, at that point, let's get friends of ours. And of course, we got 8 in the room. And so when we sat around party's room and went around asking each other, what are you hearing? What is it? Do you believe what you're hearing or not? And it turned out that we are all struggling with this narrative we were hearing of this community against that community. And we felt like there was need for change of the leadership narrative in the country. And so then that would propel us into wanting to meet often to talk about these things. And so immediately I reached out to someone and I told Sam, hey, I think we have figured out something and would like to meet every week to have breakfast and just talk. And so we were going to be meeting that next Saturday in the morning at the Fungamano house. And as we sat down and talked, we realized we needed to continue meeting. And so we met regularly. We met in March, April, somewhere early May, or there late April thereabout. Someone would come for some of those meetings. And one day he asked me, Gabriel, what do you see as a future for this? I told him, I really don't know, but I wish we would bring together student leaders for a retreat during the prayer breakfast day. And then he said, is that what you wish? He said, yes, I wish that would happen. And of course, then he organized a meeting with another friend. I told the friend the same thing. And long story short, that year of 2008, we had the first ever AYLF retreat around the prayer breakfast, where we had about 40, 50 guys from Kenya and Uganda primarily at that point, who met for 2 nights at Limuru Jumuiya Resort. So we had this retreat, and then guys attended the breakfast. The year that followed, we didn't do that because of we were still trying to understand what this is, what is this thing, and there were some hiccups on the earlier days. But in 2009, we didn't do it. And we did the next gathering in 2010. And of course, since 2010, we've had a gathering every year other than the COVID years. And these gatherings have grown to be a space where we first always make contact with student leaders. In 2012, coming into 2013, we had wonderful engagement with student leaders then, who a number of them right now are in different spaces of influence. Tom Boya just came back from Egypt for 5 years doing his master in neurosurgeon. The deputy governor for Kajiado was part of that group. Dennis Kyogora, who is the MCA for Bogota West, was part of that group. We have Duncan Mochama, who was part of that group. Maureen Wanyonyi, who is working at, right now is working at Kenya Association of Manufacturers, was part of that group. And there were a number of guys who were part of that group. And we consistently met. And as we met every week, some seeds were being planted in the lives of these guys who then would bloom into other spaces.
Hello, my name is Mosangi Mashango. I'm the programs coordinator at the Africa Youth Leadership Forum, Kenya. And we run programs at the programs department. It is a senior department that has a number of departments under 8. The number is 6. The departments are the outreach department. Then we have the leadership programs department. We have the Salaam Mentorship Program department. We have the high school leadership development program department. And we have the consultancy programs department. The idea is to support the vision of AYLF through nurturing young breed of leaders in Africa by transforming their mindset, increasing their spaces of influence by having a build-up of friendship and having a good friendship base in their area. We have the men's leadership gathering. Now, the men's leadership gathering are meant for young men, senior men, and professional men, so that they can be able to interact together and be able to exchange leadership ideas, because sometimes there are matters of gender in these matters, and that's the reason why we have tailor-made this program. This year we will be able to actualize 2 of the programs. We have the junior men engagement that was amazing. We saw more than 80 young men join in this conversation. We had the main senior men gathering, which saw more than 100 men together, and the collaborative gathering that has seen young men sit with the senior men and be able to exchange these ideas on matters, ideas, professions, business, careers, and all these things around them. Then we have ladies leadership programs. And the Ladies Leadership Program is a program that we have tailor-made for young ladies, for senior ladies, married ladies, so that they can be able to exchange these ideas and be able to put a support system where they can be able to relate, associate, and contribute to each other's welfare. And we've seen now the matters picking up in different spheres, in different ways, and it is successful.
Assalamu alaikum. Peace be upon you. My name is Omar Berhe Maulid. I come from Tana River County, Galole Sub-County, Bikindoni Village. Salaam Mentoring Program is a global movement of like-minded peers committed to timeless principles and values, cutting across culture and religion. And in the past 5 years, we have worked with over 8 villages. We have touched over 13 high schools. We have worked with over 4 universities. We are in over 8 counties. We have assisted in registration, running of over 5 community-led organizations within our spaces. And in the last year, we have touched over 4,000 lives. In the recent past, we have seen a spike in registration and running of community-led organizations. We have seen a spike in retention of high school students. We have seen leaders who have intentionally created spaces for the youth and people within their communities to actually engage in constructive dialogues that has led to peace and peace initiatives. In 2024, we hope to touch at least 10,000 lives across the country. We hope to rewrite the narrative in our communities where diversity is no longer frowned upon, but celebrated as a radiant symbol of our collective humanity. Join us in the movement that creates coexistent mindset, warms the heart, gives purpose to the hand, and transforms the mindset. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Nelias Dara. I am the small group country coordinator at AYLF Kenya, and I will tell the story of university outreach programs, popularly known as small groups. The small groups currently are present in 48 universities across the country and in 5 regions in the country, that is Western region, Rift Valley region, Nairobi region, Central region, and Coast region. The small groups meet on a weekly basis to discuss the current state affairs, financial literacy, and matters affecting them as youth. The membership of small groups is 18 to 24 members, and we encourage our small groups to maintain friendship and authentic conversations among the members. Apart from meeting on a weekly basis, the members are involved in community impact projects such as tree planting, children's home visits, and HLD mentorship programs. The purpose of these small groups is leadership training development. We have seen our members rise up in the ranks in their various areas of influence. Currently, we have a president from our small group at the Catholic University of Eastern Africa. We have a Secretary General at Garissa University, and we have a president at African International University, which shows that the students are learning and taking up roles in their areas of influence.